A warm hello and welcome. I'm Coach Ray, your go-to for narration and conversations on topics that keep you alive and well-ish. Follow me for practical tips, expert insight, and motivational stories to help you build a better life. Thank you for joining me today for episode 2 of Small Brave Journeys, a 4-part series about slowly, courageously becoming your best self. In the first episode, we talked about the roles we learn to play. The familiar identities that keep us safe, accepted, and, well, predictable. Today, we're exploring one of the most celebrated and one of the most challenging roles in any hero's journey. And yes, you are the hero of your story. We're looking at the good one. The helpful one, the selfless one, the one who always shows up. In the hero's journey, this is one of the hardest thresholds. That pivotal moment between who you've been and who you're becoming. Because on the outside, that looks noble, but on the inside, that role can sometimes cost you everything. So today, we're asking the brave question, when is generosity a true gift? And when does it quietly become a cage? Because not all kindness comes from love, sometimes it comes from fear. Or from the part of us that needs to be seen as good. And that's where altruism and people-pleasing part ways. But it's where we begin. In many great stories, the hero comes from a village where they're valued because they're dependable, kind, helpful, and self-sacrificing. Those traits look noble. And often they are. But here's the psychological twist. Sometimes these qualities aren't guided by love. They're guided by fear. Altruism, simply put, is generosity rooted in choice and values. It comes from inner abundance, from having enough emotional, mental, and physical resources to give freely. And sometimes, even when there isn't much to go around, the hero still chooses to give. Not to deplete themselves, but from a sense of dignity, purpose, and compassion. That kind of giving isn't about praise or validation, it's in devotion to who they want to be. In your story, altruism may sound like, I want to do this. This aligns with who I am. It comes from a place of security, not from any obligation or self-neglect. When we are altruistic, there's energy left over. There's dignity. There's self-respect. People-pleasing can look very familiar on the outside, but it's powered by a completely different nervous system response. It can feel like, if I don't do this, something bad will happen. They'll be disappointed or upset. I'll lose credibility. I won't be enough. People-pleasing isn't generosity. Psychologically, it's anxiety management. You're not giving from love. You're giving to avoid loss. And remember episode 1, loss aversion, predictability over possibility, safety over self. This is how people-pleasing shows up in relationships. It quietly pulls our hero away from their journey, and not in a fun side quest kind of way. The tricky part is that people-pleasing often disguises itself as kindness. It sounds noble, it gets praised, it earns social approval, it keeps the peace. But over time, there's a cost. You disappear a little. Your preferences feel unimportant. Your voice gets drowned out. Your whole identity starts to erode. And slowly, the hero stops leading the story and becomes a background character in their own life. I know this deeply. I feel it in my mind, body, and soul. And if this resonates with you too, please hear me. You are not alone. And this is not the story you were meant to live. Here's the turning point in every hero's journey. The moment we ask ourselves, am I doing this because I want to or because I'm afraid? That single question is a boundary. It isn't selfish or cruel, it's self-honoring. It turns giving back into generosity instead of survival. And it turns growth into empowerment instead of pressure. boundary advice focuses on behaviors like saying no, speaking up, or being assertive. And while that might be helpful in some situations, it's incomplete. Psychological boundaries are about what you let in, not just what you push away. If you don't build them internally, external boundaries won't hold. After all, most of the emotional weight we carry doesn't arrive because someone forces it on us. It slips in quietly through the assumptions we make and the stories we tell ourselves, through compassion fatigue, and through the roles we've gotten used to playing. So let's name where overload usually enters, because once you can acknowledge it, you can stop carrying what was never yours in the first place. First is cognitive boundaries. You are not responsible for another hero's reaction. The way someone leads their story doesn't make their thoughts, feelings, choices, or consequences your responsibility. Next is emotional boundaries. You can support someone and care deeply without making their feelings your fault. Empathy doesn't require emotional fusion. You can be kind and compassionate without carrying everyone else's baggage. And thirdly, identity boundaries. This is where identity loops from episode 1 return. Being the fixer, the steady one, doesn't have to be your destiny. Ask yourself, what am I actually responsible for? And what can I simply be present with? Because when we carry what isn't ours, we don't just burn out, we also take away someone else's chance to grow. As you can see, simply noticing where your boundaries are too permeable is a helpful first step in reclaiming your place as the hero in your story. Once you reinforce a boundary or release an old role, you have to protect the space it leaves behind. And a really powerful way to do that is something I call the triple C, cost and consent check. Before saying yes, or even after, we're not perfect, ask, what does this cost me? Consider your time, energy, creativity, safety, and joy. Did I consent internally? Did I choose this, or did I silently comply? If the motivation is avoiding guilt, rejection, awkwardness, or loneliness, that isn't altruism. It's self-abandonment disguised as kindness. We don't shame that because it once kept us safe. Now we work to understand it. After all, you deserve more than a fear-led life. If and when overwhelm hits, silently say, this is happening near me, not inside of me. Take a few slow, deep breaths where your exhale is longer than your inhale to help your nervous system settle. Soften your shoulders, then say, this belongs to the situation, not my identity. You are not required to shrink yourself to be loved. Caring is beautiful. Caring at the cost of yourself is burnout, dressed as generosity. Time for the reflection. Let's take a moment to journal, voice note, or sit with our reflection before we finish this week's episode. If you're comfortable, please share in the comments. Where in my life do I call people-pleasing kindness? Who benefits from my self-sacrifice? And who actually loses? What am I afraid will happen if I stop overgiving? And what might wholehearted, chosen generosity look like instead? Thank you for being here with me for part 2 of Small Brave Journeys. If you missed part 1, I'd love for you to go back and watch it. It gives important context for this chapter and helps the whole journey come together. If you're enjoying this series so far, liking, subscribing, and sharing truly helps our little community grow, and it lets me keep creating thoughtful content for you. I'd love to invite you to join me next Saturday for our part 3, self-concept editing. We're going to talk about rebuilding trust, aligning big dreams with everyday choices, and creating consistency that honors your real life without pushing your nervous system past its limits. Change is hard, but the side door is still open. And if you're ready, you can gently begin to change who you believe you are. Because once you stop living for everyone else, you finally get to discover who you truly are. And that, my friends, is where the story gets really good. Remember, all of this, it's not about reaching a destination. It's about finding the beautiful messiness of life and enjoying every bit of it along the way. Take what you need from this, leave the rest, and until next time, stay well.